Everything you know about Megalodon is a lie. In 2025, a scientist looked at a fossil in Brussels. The data he saw on the screen was shocking. He called his supervisor. One word: impossible. That day, 200 years of scientific history was thrown in the trash. Because Megalodon was not what we thought. Much stranger, much larger than you imagined, and terrifying to an unprecedented degree. For 19 million years, it sat at the top of the ocean food chain, the largest shark that ever lived, 3 times the size of a great white, enough force to crush a whale's skull in a single bite. Then one day, it silently vanished from the oceans. But the real question is, what if everything we know about it is wrong? Its appearance, its hunting style, how large it was. What if everything we know is wrong? Evidence that emerged in the last 12 months changed everything. This wasn't just about size, it was an entirely different creature. And why would such a creature suddenly go extinct? Even stranger, what I'm about to show you will change how you see the ocean forever. Once you learn the truth about Megalodon, you'll understand. We don't know what happened out there. December 2024, Brussels. A paleontologist is measuring fossilized vertebrae. The numbers don't add up. They don't fit at all. He runs them through an AI model. He takes the results straight to his supervisor. This specimen is not 15 meters, not 18 meters either. 24.3 meters, the height of an 8-story building, the size of a blue whale, 94 tons of pure killing machine. This discovery buried every museum model, every film in history. But why were we wrong for 200 years? For the answer, we need to go back, far back, to the moment humanity first encountered this giant creature. Italy. 2 fishermen caught a giant shark. The Duke of Florence heard about it. He sent it to anatomist Nicholas Steno. Steno didn't look at the size, he looked at the teeth, because he had seen them before. Not in fish, in rocks. They had been found for centuries. Medieval scholars called them tongue stones. They believed they had magical powers. Steno saw the truth. Not tongue stones, shark teeth. Ancient shark teeth, trapped in stone for millions of years. He had discovered what fossils were. The crazy part, Megalodon left behind so many teeth that today you can buy one online for $50. Why? Every Megalodon had 276 teeth in its mouth. Like modern sharks, they continuously replaced their teeth. A single shark would use 40,000 teeth in its lifetime. For 19 million years, the ocean floor was covered with these teeth, some 18 centimeters long, the size of a hand. The ultimate predator's weapon, serrated, triangular. It cut through whale blubber like butter without effort. Megalodon equals big tooth. For 200 years, all we had were its teeth. We built an entire shark from those teeth. We built the wrong one. Swiss scientist Louis Agassiz examined the teeth. They resembled a great white's, just bigger. He classified them in the same family, Carcharodon megalodon, the giant ancestor of the great white. This was accepted by everyone for 160 years. Museums built their models on this idea. Hollywood made films. For them, Megalodon was a great white on steroids. Stocky, clumsy, a living submarine. But in the 2000s, they took a closer look. The data didn't match. The teeth didn't resemble the great whites as much as thought. Great white teeth are irregular, rough. Megalodons were perfectly smooth, thinner, more oval, different. Then they looked at the roots. No match. Different shape. The inevitable conclusion: Megalodon did not evolve into the great white. The great white did not evolve from Megalodon. Separate lineages, meaning everything known was wrong. Every model, every theory, every film, the wrong shark. In 2019, it was reclassified. Ododontid, megatoothed sharks. Its closest relative is not the great white. It's Otodus obliquus, a prehistoric species that lived 60 million years ago. So if Megalodon isn't a giant great white, what is it? Massive database. They compared this data pool with Megalodon data. The results were shocking. Head accounts for 16.6% of body length, tail 32.6%. The Belgian specimen comes out to 16.4 meters, close to previous estimates. But then they found a larger vertebra, from Denmark, 23 centimeters wide. They ran it through the model, an impossible result. 24.3 meters, 94 tons, blue whale-sized. But the real bombshell isn't the size, it's the shape. The researchers compared Megalodon to living species. We had imagined it completely wrong. It wasn't like a great white. It was aerodynamic, sleek, a shorter, flatter head, extra long pectoral fins to carry the enormous weight. Less like a great white, closer to a lemon shark, longer, faster, more efficient. This changes everything. The old stocky model was nonsense. A bulky body creates water resistance, slows movement speed. Great whites stop growing at 6 to 7 meters. If they grew larger, they would lose speed. But an aerodynamic body? Blue whales reach 30 meters. They travel thousands of miles, without tiring. Megalodon's new design explains how it reached that size, how it dominated every ocean. It wasn't a tank, it was a fighter jet. The 2025 study revealed one more thing, a deep terror. Even at birth, they could be considered massive, approximately 3.6 to 3.9 meters, larger than most of today's great whites. They were predators from the moment they were born. But the terrifying part is something else. Like great whites, they practiced intrauterine cannibalism. Inside the womb, embryos ate eggs and each other. Only the strongest survived. Sibling killers before even entering the world. For 19 million years, they dominated the oceans, on every continent except Antarctica. These teeth were found from California to Japan to South Africa. A global predator, the most successful shark in history, an untouchable predator. Nothing could compete. So what happened? How does a species this powerful and invincible go extinct? The most recent megalodon tooth we found is 3.6 million years old. After that, a deep silence, as if it vanished overnight. But extinction doesn't work that way. What killed them? First theory, climate change. The world was approaching an ice age. The ocean was cooling. Could Megalodon not withstand the cold? No. Catalina Pimiento's research shows Megalodon lived in both warm and cold water. Its global distribution is not linked to temperature. Scientists now believe Megalodon was mesothermic, partially warm-blooded, regulating body temperature like great whites. Cold didn't kill Megalodon. Second theory, habitat loss. During the Pliocene, sea levels fluctuated wildly. Coastal areas, hunting grounds, flooded and dried again and again. Maybe Megalodon couldn't access its food? Closer, but not quite. The truth is, 11 million years ago, the Megalodon population peaked. Then numbers began to decline. At first slowly, then quickly. It ended 3.6 million years ago. During the same period, something else happened. Marine megafauna began to die off. 55% of large marine mammals went extinct in this process. 43% of sea turtles disappeared. 9% of shark species were wiped out. Whales, dolphins, Megalodon's primary food source, was disappearing. The ocean was starving. The largest predator in history needed to eat a great deal. But there was one more factor, the final nail. Smaller, faster, more efficient, set to inherit the ocean. The great white evolved 16 million years ago. While Megalodon was at its peak, great whites were small, feeble, barely surviving in oceans ruled by Megalodon. But they had one advantage: size. Not bigger, smaller. The great white eats far less than Megalodon's food requirement. When there wasn't enough prey to hunt, Megalodon starved to death. Great whites? They adapted. They thrived. The ocean version of David and Goliath. The smaller predator won not through strength, but through efficiency. Evidence. When Megalodon went extinct, whale sizes exploded. Pliocene whales were half the size of modern whales. Without Megalodon, they reached massive sizes. This is the era when blue whales emerged, the largest animal that ever existed. Blue whales and Megalodon cannot share the same ocean. One is prey, one is predator. Today, blue whales exist. So Megalodon is definitively gone. 100%, right? Let's talk about the theory that refuses to die. 2013, Discovery Channel aired Megalodon, the monster shark lives. Shredded blue whale carcasses, 2-meter fins cutting through the water. Scientists claiming it lives in the depths of the ocean. Millions watched. It went viral. Completely fake. Actors played scientists. Photos were digitally altered. Entirely fictional. Nobody paid attention to the disclaimer at the beginning. Since then, the theories have continued. What if Megalodon is hiding in the Mariana Trench? We've only explored 5% of the ocean, right? Here's why that's impossible. 1. Food. The Mariana Trench is a desert, nothing to eat. Megalodon needs to eat large amounts daily. There isn't enough prey in the trench to feed even a single megalodon. 2. Pressure. Megalodon wasn't built for deep water. It hunted in coastal regions. The trench is 11,000 meters deep. The pressure would crush it. 3. Evidence. In 1873, teeth were found near the Mariana Trench, unusually white. Some thought they were fresh. Analysis showed them coated in manganese dioxide, a mineral that preserves fossils, makes them look fresher. The teeth are millions of years old. 4. Ecology. If megalodons still existed, orcas and great whites would not be apex predators. A food chain doesn't function with a ghost predator at the top. 5. Carcasses. In 2022, a megalodon sighting made headlines off New England. It was actually an anglerfish. In 1918, Australian fishermen claimed to have seen a 30-meter shark. No evidence. Compare with the giant squid. We knew for decades they existed. Their carcasses washed ashore. There was physical evidence before anyone filmed one alive. If Megalodon were alive, there would be carcasses, teeth, something. No evidence whatsoever. The truth about Megalodon: this isn't a shark, it's a mirror. We want it to be alive because the ocean feels too small. The entire ocean has been mapped. We've fished it, polluted it. No mystery remains, no monster in the depths. Megalodon represents the unknown, the idea that something massive and terrifying might still exist, that it could be hiding in the depths, that all our technology can't detect it. Strangely comforting. Nature still has secrets. We haven't conquered everything, but the truth is more beautiful than the legend. What we learned last year proves something incredible. We are still discovering. We are still learning. We are still getting it wrong and correcting ourselves. 200 years ago, we thought Megalodon was a giant great white. We were wrong. 50 years ago, we thought it was 15 meters. We were wrong. 10 years ago, we thought it was built like a tank. We were wrong. 2025 showed the truth. A 24-meter lemon shark, aerodynamic, efficient, the ocean's ultimate predator. The beautiful part? We'll probably be wrong again. In 10-20 years, someone will find new evidence, a complete skeleton, a preserved specimen, data that will rewrite the story. Not a failure. This is the nature of science. This is how we learn. Megalodon is dead, but its story lives on. It evolves. It tells us the past is not as simple as we thought. Status. Megalodon was real. It was enormous. It is gone now, but there is still something undiscovered. Not a tooth, not a vertebra, something bigger, a complete skeleton. 19 million years, billions of teeth, 6 continents, but not a single full-sized skeleton. Shark skeletons are made of cartilage. They decay rapidly. Only teeth survive. But somewhere, in sediment, it may be waiting. Imagine what we would learn. How the fins attached, how those massive jaws worked, the complete shape of the body. Everything we've guessed for 200 years would be answered. Until that day, teeth, fragments, theories. Megalodon's mystery doesn't end. It's just beginning. Every answer brings new questions. Every discovery shows how much we still don't know. Megalodon's lesson: the world is stranger, bigger, more mysterious than we thought. We will never fully understand it. And that is more exciting than any fictional movie monster. The ocean is dying. We are losing predators. Sharks, whales, dolphins are going extinct due to overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction. We can't bring Megalodon back, but we can protect what remains. Each of us can make a difference with small steps. Let future generations find an ocean worth exploring. One last thing. If you made it this far, leave a Christ in the comments. See you on the next dive. The ocean's secrets? We're just getting started.